Hi, this is Mindy. Welcome back to my channel. This is my final update for Horror Mayhem. Horror Mayhem is over, and I had so much fun reading short horror this month. And in the fourth week of May, I've read a whole bunch of short stories. It was all short stories this week. And the first thing I did was I finished Books of Blood by Clive Barker. And let's see, I read 7 short stories from this month, which was 3 stories from book 2 and then all of book 3. I had 1 3-star story and 3 4-star stories, and then 3 5-star stories. So I'm going to tell you about the 5-star stories. There was the first story I read this week was Jacqueline S., Her Will and Testament, which was about this woman who had an extraordinary power to control men, or a power over men. And that story was fantastic. And I really love the story Scapegoats, which was a deserted island story. This boat, like a yacht with a couple of young couples on it, get stranded on this deserted island, and there's more to this island than appears. Oh, that was a good one. And then Human Remains, the last story in the Books of Blood. That one was about a male sex worker who encounters a collector of antiquities, and this collector has a dark secret about something he's collected. And I didn't know if I was gonna love that one, but man, it ended up being one of my favorites. I also read a short story collection by a fellow booktuber, Stephanie, or S.C. Dickinson. Her collection was I Don't Know These Shadows, and it's a self-published collection of creepy short stories. And they were a little creepy with emotion, and I thought they were all fast, fun stories. And they're kind of young adult. Some of the characters are definitely young adult, like high school, older high school. And some of the stories have older protagonists that are in their early 20s. But there was a nice range of stories. There was a zombie story that was really relatable. It kind of mirrored our recent pandemic in a lot of ways, but then it's way worse because zombies. Then there was a story about the dangers of online dating, like a stalker story. Invisible You was kind of a letter written to someone who's died in the second person. And it was really touching, I thought. Then Helping My Dead Friend Get Revenge was a ghost story about a girl helping her friend get revenge on her killer, her friend's killer. Acting is a vampire story set in Los Angeles, like on a movie set. And then The Eyes in the Woods is about a family, the children in a mixed family find out there are a lot of secrets to find out. A haunting melody. I really love this story. It's about a cursed harp. So someone buys a harp at a thrift store, and then it starts this haunting, mind-bending story. Closed is a story about harassed convenience store workers who get revenge, and had me thinking, don't mess with the people that are serving you, right? My girlfriend Zinnia is about, it's a story told from the girlfriend of a man-eating succubus. So that was a really good story too. Another one of my favorites. As well as the last story, Red Bobby, which was a story about doppelgangers. Like suddenly there's all these doppelgangers for a bunch of people. That was a really good story. The doppelgangers want to take over. Yeah. So that was I Don't Know These Shadows by S.C. Dickinson. And the last thing I read for week 4 was I hopped back into A Song of Dead Dreamer by Thomas Ligotti. I read 3 more stories from this collection this week. Let's see, what stories did I read? I started where I left off last. So the first story I read was Notes on Writing a Horror Story, a Story, which was kind of an essay, nonfiction tips for writers on how to write a horror story through an example. So he gives hints on writing and then gives this example of a story about cursed pants. And then he goes through how to get started and like what you would have to start, and then different styles you could write the cursed pants in, right? And he gave what those stories would look like in different forms. And it was surprisingly entertaining and helpful. So I've been trying to figure out, how do I go from the horror poetry I've been writing into actually being able to write a narrative, like an entire short story with a beginning, middle, and end. It's not something I'm used to, and this very helpful. And then I read Dreams for Insomniacs, which the Christmas Eves of Aunt Elise. A Tale of Possession in Old Grosse Pointe. That's a long title. But it was a Christmas story, and it was really good. It was a ghost story, and it's probably one I will read again around Christmas time. And then The Lost Art of Twilight was a 5-star story. And that one was written in a gothic style, and it was a vampire story. And I really, really enjoyed that one. that is all of the short stories that I read for the 4th week of Horror Mayhem. I'd love to know how your Horror Mayhem went. Did you enjoy it? Did you find a new favorite? I hope so. And I'd love to know whatever you want to let me know down in the comments, and I will be back very soon with another book-related video. Thanks. Bye.